Hey everybody, it's PDS and today I'm going to be showing you some basics to Xyz Summon. So I just want to say I might miss something, so if you guys notice anything, just let me know in the comments. And I also wanted to say that you cannot Xyz Summon with face down monsters, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. So now let's get started. I have a level 4 monster on the field and I summon another level 4 monster. So obviously, you resolve Alistair, whatever, blah blah blah. I'm just showing you here. So now I have two level 4 monsters. So Molehu's level 4 and Alistair's level 4. So that allows me to Xyz summon. So you do that by putting both monsters on top of each other like that, and then you just summon them on top of the other two. So the differences between a normal monster and an Xyz monster. So right off the bat, you can tell that the levels on the right go on the left now, and they're black stars. This is because XYZ monsters do not have levels, they have ranks. So if you need two level 4 monsters, you would turn it into a rank 4 monster. So if you need two level 7 monsters, it would turn into a rank 7 monster. So you can tell that. It tells you the materials right here. You need two level 4 monsters, so that can be any two level 4 monsters. I'll get a little bit more into that in a bit, but basically now we get to his effects. So when a monster declares an attack, I can detach a material. So when it says detach a material, it means to remove a material from under it. Now these materials under it are not actually on the field, even though they're on the field in your eyes, but in the game, in the gameplay wise, pretend like they're in like some different dimension. They're not in the they're basically not in the game right now. So if your opponent has like a card that's for whatever reasons like destroys spellcasters, it would not destroy Alistair because he's basically not in the game right now. He's just in another place. There's not really a term for it. It's just he's not on the field or in the grave. He's just under it as a material. So basically you would remove a material like so. You just you would detach, and that sends him to the grave. So this does not activate a monster that is when it has an effect that would be sent from field to grave, because it's not on the field. It's just in that space area, right? So like a monster like Sanguine. So Sanguine is a monster that gets its effect when it leaves the field and goes to the grave. But if the monster says when it's sent to the grave it gets an effect, then it would still get that effect. So tokens cannot be used as Xyz material because they can never be anywhere besides the field. So when they are destroyed, they are not sent to the grave. They just disappear from the game. So because of this, you cannot use tokens for XYZ material. So for instance, if you have a level 4 token, you would not be able to use it to Xyz summon. So let's say my opponent has a card like Junk Archer. So Junk Archer says, once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, banish it, and then during the end phase, return it. So in this situation, the Xyz monster is banished from the game until the end phase, and then during the end phase, it returns. However, the material under it does not return. So the material stays in the graveyard, but the monster itself comes back to the field. So let's say my opponent has a card like Destiny Hero Plasma. So this card allows you to target one monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card, and then it gains attack equal to half of the attack of the equipped monster. So in that situation, the Xyz materials would be sent to the graveyard, and then your opponent equips it as an equip spell. But of course, the materials are gone. They don't go with him, so the materials would go to the grave in that instance as well. So now let's say my opponent uses a card like Paleozoic Canadia. Target one face of monster your opponent controls, change it to face down defense position. So in this instance, I would simply set my Xyz monster, but the materials remain face up. So you can tell, right away it's an Xyz monster, but it does not lose the materials, it just goes face down. And going back to the Paleo monsters, so they summon themselves as trap monsters. So unlike tokens, you can actually use these as Xyz materials. So if you have a Canadia and another level 2, you can make a rank 2 monster. You could even use 2 Canadias if you wanted. So normally Canadia would be banished when it leaves the field, but since it was under an Xyz monster, it is sent to the graveyard instead. So another thing I'm going to show you guys is there's a method to Xyz summon without using level monsters. So I don't think we're going to get these right away, but it is something good to know. So if we take a look at Utopia Prime, this one requires 3 level 4 light monsters, but alternatively, it says you can also Xyz summon this card by using a number 39 Utopia you control as the Xyz material. Xyz materials attached to that monster also become Xyz materials on this card. So that's a lot to digest, but basically what it means is instead of using 3 level 4 light monsters, you can simply summon this one on top of your Utopia. So it would look like this. So basically you have the Xyz monster under Utopia Prime. So this is a way for them to introduce bigger boss monsters. So you know, this was the normal Utopia, and then this would be like the quote-unquote Super Saiyan Utopia. So this is a really cool mechanic that's, I mean, we saw it a little bit with Synchros, with the XL Synchros, but this is like the next level of boss monsters basically. So this is pretty popular with the anime monsters such as Utopia and the Galaxy Eyes. So I expect to see this within the first few, or not the first few months, probably like, I would say maybe like let's say like 8 months in, we probably get ones like these. So that is something to look out for. So next we're going to look at the rank up spell cards that allow you to skip ranks. So these became popular during the Xyz era. So this one lets you target the Xyz monster with the highest rank, and then you summon one monster with the same type and attribute as that monster, but 2 ranks higher. So what does that mean? What is 2 ranks higher? So if we are looking at Utopia, that means we can summon a light warrior monster. So let's take a look at that. So we can summon a light warrior monster that is, instead of rank 4, it is rank 6. So it lets us basically level up, so, or rank up as it's called. So let's take a look at what we can summon here. So 6 through 6. So it's probably a Utopia monster. Oh, I'm sorry, I had the rank up here. So we have access to Utopia Beyonds, basically. This is a warrior as well, but you're going to be summoning Utopia Beyond. So basically, you go from rank 4 to rank 6. So this is a really cool mechanic, but I'm not sure when we're going to get this in the game. Probably a couple months down the line as well. So, but it is very interesting that that is a mechanic. And let's go back to the spell cards now. So that is one of them. The other one, a lot of them are similar to that, where it's like you get to rank up your card basically and turn it into a more powerful monster. So it's really useful to just get you out of a sticky situation or end the game. And I think that about covers just the basic mechanics. If you guys have any other questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section. And this has been PDS. Thank you for watching, and have a good day or night wherever you guys are.